Welcome back to another episode of Cult Horror Movie Reviews. It's been said that Fiend Without a Face is one of the better low-budget sci-fi horror films to come out in the 50s, so let's see how good that claim holds up. But just before we get going, you guys already know the drill. If there's a cult horror movie you'd like me to review, just leave me a comment down below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel to never miss out on another bad movie review every Friday and cult horror movie review every Tuesday. This movie tells the story of an American military base implanted next to a rural town in Canada. People start turning up dead, and nobody can figure out why. The locals start blaming the atomic power coming out of the army base, but as the plot thickens, it turns out that the people are under attack by flying brain monsters with a propelling spinal cord and antennas. Who came up with that? We get the backstory to those things as a scientist explains that he accidentally created those monsters. His work was centered around trying to materialize thoughts, and with the help of the nuclear power from the radar experiments, this would wound up making those evil creatures that eventually escaped his laboratory. Amidst all of its cheesiness, I like that those fiends without a face weren't revealed right away. First, it turns out that they're invisible, and so all we can see are the objects that they knock over, and all we can hear is a disgusting and creepy slurping sound. To be honest, those scenes are spine-chilling enough. It was a good idea to let the movie play out in a mysterious fashion to build up some tension. The problem is that it went on for too long. After a while, it was losing its effect. It just got to be tedious. I would have preferred if the monsters had appeared halfway through the story, but in Fiend Without a Face, we get to see those brain creatures just 15 minutes before the movie ends. And that's when there's a big shift of tone that occurs. After the fiends make themselves visible, the characters barricade themselves inside a house for protection. And every time that they shoot at one of those things, there's this splatter of thick blood or goo that comes out. The man behind the special effects insisted that this wasn't blood, but rather gray matter, which would make sense considering that they are floating brains after all. But still, for the time, it was quite graphic. It was considered so violent that the controversy made its way into the British House of Parliament upon its release. The brain creatures look kinda cool, even though the stop-motion animation was quite clunky. It's better than a lot of the other genre films I've seen during that time, but they move in a very awkward way for a lot of the time. There was a good performance by Marshall Thompson in the lead role, in my opinion, and I like the atmosphere and the setting, with the foresty look and all. Overall, Fiend Without a Face is overrated in my opinion. I wouldn't call it one of the 50s best sci-fi films, but I'm sure that it will please a lot of people that are deep into horror and monster movies, so check it out.